In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Some of the people, they start their work with quite an enthusiasm, and they work with quite a lot of energy. It seems that they are going to make faster progress, and pretty soon they will be able to achieve it. They will be having something very important in their hands. And then what does happen? We don't remain in contact with that particular person. We come to know after some of the time that that particular person has stopped working upon the project which he she has launched, and upon which he she was working with quite a lot of enthusiasm, in quite an energetic manner, and people were expecting that this person is pretty soon going to hit a target. But it did not happen. It did not happen. And the kind of energy he was using, he was investing, does not seem anymore. The person, on the other hand, there are some of the people who make an intention, who make a very strong intention, who design and who make a plan that I shall be inshallah working upon this project. They do wait for the right time, and during this right time they either get involved in something else, or they stop the enthusiasm, the kind of energetic approach, the kind of working which was expected from these people. Why does it happen is going to be the topic of discussion today. I am of the view that these people, the person who were very enthusiastic about a project, about a goal, about a target, but these people did not remain very much committed to that particular goal. Rather, they dropped it in the midway. Some of the people, they could not even start it. Now the question arises, why does it happen? And did it happen with us as well? Did it happen in our life as well? Overwhelming number of the people amongst us will say yes, it did happen with me as well. I was very enthusiastic about something else, but with the passage of time, I lost all the enthusiasm. I could not even launch it. I could not even begin that. I could not even start that. And now my project, now my goal has become a kind of dead goal. Dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, we need to understand the reason behind it. And the reason behind it is that we don't reiterate, we don't refresh, we don't start work on the project simply by a paper and a pencil. And this paper pencil apparently might seem a useless thing. The people who are not so educated, the people who are not so learned, the people who don't know much about the nitty gritty of how our mind works, these people are found ridiculing the people, the persons who do work with their paper and pencil. These people are considered as useless people in a society where the education is very low. But the people who are educated enough, but the people who do know the nitty gritty, how a success could be achieved, how a project could be launched, how a goal can be carried on, and how a target could be achieved. I think so that these people are found saying that no matter what you want to do, you need to do it upon the paper first. And as for doing it upon the paper is concerned, we need to do it. We need to do it quite frequently. We need to do it on a daily basis. Rather, the people who do have a good amount of free time, for those people, I think that they need to do it several times a day, not only once a day, but several times a day. This is, they need to reiterate, they need to reiterate, they need to reiterate, they need to refresh it, and they need to keep refreshing it. If at all we want to do something, if at all we want to accomplish something, if at all we do want to launch something, if a project is there, a project way about which we are of the view that I shall be launching it pretty soon, and I shall be carrying it on. Upon the completion of this project, my life will become a much better one as compared to the life which I am living today. This target of mine, if achieved, can bring a bigger amount of changes, a bigger amount of improvements in my life. I think so that the people in Pakistan and abroad, I need to say, let me tell you that this we need to stay motivated, we need to stay enthusiastic, we need to stay energetic about the project which we are having, and which is expected, which is supposed to bring a major changes, a major improvements in our life. We need to reiterate it, we need to refresh it, we need to keep refreshing it as much as possible. The more the frequency of refreshing it, the better it would be. We need to do it with a paper and a pencil. We need to do it with a paper and pencil. We need to take the paper and the pencil, and we need to write upon it whatever we do have in our mind regarding our goals. We need to put it on the paper, we need to refresh it, we need to keep writing it, we need to keep writing it several times a day, and maybe 100 times a week. We need to work upon it, because working upon it on a paper with just a pencil, it might seem ridiculous, it might seem useless. But as for the people who do have a bit of knowledge about the psychological science, the people who do have a bit of knowledge about the mind science, these people will be found saying that this process of writing it, this process of putting it on the paper on a daily basis, or rather several times a day, it is quite a lot of helpful. It is very much precious. It brings us, it motivates us, and it keeps us motivated. We need to stay motivated actually. The more motivated we are, the more consistent we will become, the more amount of energy we will be putting into our project. If at all we do want to put the energy into our project, if at all we do want to put lots of energy into our project, all what we need to do is that we need to keep refreshing it, we need to keep refreshing it as much as possible. The more the frequency of it, the better will be the chances of achieving it. It is as simple as this one, no complication involved in it. Also, while we are putting it on the paper several times a day, I think so we need to evolve it, we need to improve it, we need to refine it, we need to make it more and more better. We need to increase the efficacy of it. The and this is quite possible, I think so. Not necessarily each and every time, not necessarily each and every time, but as we put it on the paper, I think so we can do it in a slightly better manner. I'm not talking about the looks of this writing, I'm talking about the refinement of the project, I'm talking about the evolutionary process. An idea do have to take, actually it is an idea about which, upon upon which we want to work, upon which we want to erect a kind of building, we want to construct a kind of building, and this building, once constructed, once erected, will bring the major changes in our life. I think so. This is as simple as this one. This might seem a useless exercise, but as a matter of fact, it is not a useless exercise at all. Rather, it is quite useful. It is quite beneficial. Why? Because it keeps us attached with the project. It keeps us affiliated. It keeps us motivated. Once it does keep us motivated on the one hand, on the other hand, we are bringing a kind of improvement, we are bringing a kind of evolutionary process in the project, which we do have to start, which we do have to carry on. And if at all we have already launched it, it does not mean that we don't need to refresh it. It does not mean that we don't need to further improve it, because there are certain improvements which can still be done. And I think so, whatever improvement is possible, I think we need to do it. We should not be budging from it. Reiterate, reiterate, reiterate. Refresh your projects, the ideas upon which you are working on a daily basis. And the best way to do that is to put it on the paper, to get a pencil and a paper, and to keep writing about it, to keep refining about it, to keep motivating yourself. This will put lots of energy into your project. And once the energy has been put, once the energy is being put into your project, I think so that it will do everything which is required. Thank you.